Today we're going to work on something that I have always, the classes have the essence of it. And then someone has asked, this is a few messages and conversations that um, I am in the practice, but I still suffer. So to going into that, I will tell you why you're suffering is because you quite working and creating still your story through your polarities. And I have sent a little short video about this, saying about the techniques and everything that is now through the systems are created on a polarity. So if you are uh, having weight, then you have to lose weight. If you are having ill health, you have to go into the good health. If you have addiction, you have to get out of it. So the system is created through a polarity. And when you give your emphasis onto these systems, it has stolen you, and that is the great theft of this whole media, is that it only makes, not because there are systems built up on it, that's because you get entertained by it, entertained by wars, entertained by this, and entertained by that. So you entertain because they identify you as a person and you identify yourself as a person. So you keep these systems happening. But once the engagement is stopped, these systems collapse very easily when people are woken, not as to break up systems, but to break up your habitual patterns of the telling the story, creating the story, bowing down to the story. So this is very important because the classes, what it does is it brings back into the authenticity that you are very careful, and every moment is independent of your story. In that space, you are going to build up something much more stronger, a purposeful, and that's where the suffering comes and ceases, because you only can suffer if you are in the story. If you're witnessing when a thought is arriving, you could see it's like a lava lamp. It only get the momentum if you are participating with your story. Because otherwise, before even a thought arrives, you will get to know about it, and you know that I am not going to engage in it, not as a person, as a realization. It just drops and collapses. And then after a few seconds, maybe another one coming, and you're not entertained by it too. So there are a lot of distractions out there to pull you into this place. Now, I don't so much talk in the surface level. I just talk into a space of listening and letting you find the depth of yourself, so that your moments are more freer, more liberated, where it takes care of things that you need to fix things, or you need to do this or do that, because fixation is also addiction. So so in these forms, these classes doesn't get entertained by anything other than the truth. And that's what we are going to today work on. So allow you to become into that space that is not separate from anyone else or any nature of it. And the only thing that you have to do is witnessing that space, and you become very gentle about it, so that you don't create the story when you are alone, and you will start savoring that space very gently without adding anything into it anymore. So saying that, I will move the camera towards Darren and allow that space very gently. You're taking the seating, and that is the only thing that can you savor the seating. Can you savor this moment where the breath is moving in and out? That's not because the breath is coming in and out because you have got everything sorted out, because it's happening, because you're allowing it. So elongate the spine. I will move the camera towards Darren. Take a couple of deep breaths that allow you to come into that space. You're aware of that space. Your shoulders are relaxed and your chest is open. Your elongations are there. Your openness is there. So there is no stagnation of anything that you're keeping just because of the story. Now, very gently, you begin to see through yourself that there isn't a problem. There can't be a problem unless the mind believes it goes into that commentary, commentator, that perception. So begin to see through but seeing is the action. Seeing is the solution. Seeing is that you're breaking the system. Seeing is the recovery. But without mind goes into perception, polarity. All the tradition says this, the illusion, the dream. So don't come into the illusion as me. It is nothing to do with having that relationship between me and the existence. So see, you have found where the story gets charged and created. See, thoughts doesn't come if you're not there. When the first thought comes, imagine first thing that you want to talk about, me. When the thought arises. And then me with the relationship, with the moment. So if the me does not exist and you are free from that story, independent, that present moment, there is no commenting about what is right and what is bad, what is good, what is agreed, what is disagreed. So there is nothing to attain, nothing to get rid of. So see how mind is collapsing, it's free. Because you form all those barriers because that's what it's called Minecraft. It's a game, you create things. Now, once you have come into that space of the realization, palms onto the Namaskar position, breathing in and chanting a vibrational Om to align that space with a sound. Take a deep breath in. Now take a deep breath in very gently. You're twisting the spine to the right side, stomach very gently pulled in. Now, you see, no reality to the movement, no perception to the movement. Breath in back into the center. Get your feet preparation. Twisting the spine to the other side. Open. Now, can you see the past as the space of the old mind? Back into the center. Now let the thoughts come, but try not to see you through the thoughts. Let the breath come. Let the thought of the body comes, or body of the thought comes. Now that's the energy to entertain that. If you don't give that energy to entertain that, there is nothing. Thought is just interpreting the moment to tell the story in favor of you or against you. Now take a deep breath into that space of the elongation of the spine and shrug the shoulders right up. Chill the head back. Massage the back of the skull, releasing the tension of these energies that are rising or collapsing or flowing. Open and close the mouth wider a few times. Releasing the tension. Breath out. Collapse the spine onto a seated cat. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the space of the Chittakash. Just observe if the old mind try to conditionally come in. Feel it. Feel it means trying to have a thought about what? Breathe out, releasing the tension, energy of the anus, navel, and the throat. So what's happening then? Just collapse. Breathing in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the space of the Chittakash. It will try every moment. By witnessing your collapsing, you don't have to do anything. Breathe out, anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Take a deep breath in, coming back into the center, shoulders relax. Stretch the neck to the right side. Keep your shoulders dropped. Create the space on the back of the scapula. Breathing in back into the center. Onto the other side. Back to the center. Now, was there any suffering? Did your story change? Don't even take the story of I am enlightened now. Don't. Back to the center. Now very gently take a deep breath in. Left leg stretch into the back. Keep the space of the right hip opening. Keep the space of the shoulders open. Just open. Feel the breath. Just observe the whole mind is eager to listen to what I'm going to say, even in the posture, even in the asana. Now take a deep breath in, drop the elbows, walk those palms, release the tension. Any space that you can, without the condition opening up, observe the mind in its polarity, going from yes to not, good to bad. Whatever is happening, there's nothing to do with the truth. They're positive or they're negative. What's happening is just what's throughout our life. We get an endless number of opportunities to observe, experience, independent of the story. Take a gentle, deep breath in. Walk your palms towards you, shoulders relax and chest open. Gently transitioning the breath and this body into a plank, stronger on the pelvic floor. You're just transitioning, you're just the observer. So use the polarities of the mind and the body, but through that awareness into a plank. Just observe the moment you know where the mind is moved into, what is happening or what has happened. Left knee onto the floor. Take a deep breath in, right arm stretching to the front, up to the ceiling. Right arm reaching into the back, very gently to the floor. Now, is this very moment, if there is any stress or suffering, then the mind has gone on to what is happened, what is happening, what will happen. Gently breathe out to a cat. Breathing in into a cow. Shoulders relax. Tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze. Breathe out. Energy of the anus, navel, throat. Neutral spine. Rotate the hips in a wider rotation. Wider rotation to the other side. Back into the center. Stretch the hips into the front, into the back. Are you with me? Can you see the old sounds of the old mind? Just as a thought. Are you observing that it's interpretation of the moment? Can you see? You may be working something to get out of the suffering, but it itself is the suffering. Because the polarities is playing ping pong. The intention might be to do something good, beware something great. Crawling and bringing the chest into the front. Take a deep breath in and coming into a gentle cobra. Thought cannot exist if you're not there. Thought was never anything. It cannot be anything at all, even into the future. Overlook into the left. Back into the center. Overlooking to the right. Back into the center. Now, every thought that comes up is, if you want to put a name, it's a thought called I, me, myself. Without it, the moment is free. Of course, the person who can have a valuable thought is the person who is free from thoughts, free from that state of the mind. So the momentum and the moment is present with that relationship. But there's no commentary. Back into the center. Relax the head. Now breathing into up face from here. Breathe out towards a down face. Now take a deep breath in, left foot into the front, into the pigeon. Shoulders roll back. Take a deep breath in, breath out, drop the elbows, fork those palms. There is no motivation here. There's no motive here. There's no direction here. But it might say that that's your freedom. Palms facing up. Because your body still can show the armor that you're wearing to protect you, protect your ego. Are you still following me with this? So the intention is there. Just witness it. There is no generating thoughts of a motive or a movement in the mind in the hope of achieving. So nothing has become your attachment, so you're free from any attachment. There is nothing to suffer. The biggest attachment is to yourself. If you are struggling with something, I must have that as my help. Nothing in that space. Because your realization is beyond having that space. So now you don't function within the field of any level of attachment. Even to feel in this class should give me solace. Give me a greater realization so that I can go back to myself. Got it? Because all these are attachments. Palms facing down, very gently coming back. Stronger in the pelvic floor. The body. Observing the mind and the body. Into a plank. Transitioning. Breath is transitioning, the movement is transitioning. Right knee onto the floor. Left arm reaching into the front, up to the ceiling, into the back, onto the floor. Drop the knee completely, breathe out into the space of the cat. Breathing into a space of the cow, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gain. See, now you see everything. You see everything, so you know that you are liberated from everything. But still, it might be also you're doing this to liberate as a goal, as a reward. So be careful with that. All this attachment. Without anus lock, navel lock, throat lock. Neutral spine, you have a good rotation to the hips. Now you see the mind does only used to clinging into things, ideas, motivations. So that's why a lot of people asking me, I'm watching a lot of amazing things on YouTube, Instagram, but it cannot bring you that enlightenment to a snippet. It's a cling and a hold on to something, another idea to strengthen that ego. Why the rotation to the other side? Stretch the spine into the back, let go of the breath. So therefore, you're not escaping. When your mind is illusionally is hungry, it's always formed that attachment to keep it going, keep its illusion going. It's like taking a drug away from you. Suddenly you feel like you've been punished if the thoughts are not there. You're in a greater isolation. To attach to this, that. See, when you come into this realization, there is no interest in attachment at all. There is no interest in why am I lonely. That is the aloneness. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into up face. Investigate. Investigating. This is the very moment you can get all the addiction that the mind has to this drug of thought, drug of emotions, drug of attachment to things. Breathe out towards the down face. Like very gently, you'll see to release any tension that is still clinging out of that attachment. You might carry some of your parents' things, you might carry some of educational things. Just observe when the dialogue comes back. The moment is free from you, free from your story. Inquire again. Got it so far? Stronger in the pelvic floor, coming into a plank. Lower plank onto the Chaturanga Dandasana or to a gentle cobra, breathing in into an up face, transitioning. Breathe out. At this very moment, you accept nothing. You're not trying to find answers. Drop the knees, stretch the spine, and give some time for the body to gently come into that space. So now, what is the root of this suffering? Root of this being alone? Root of I need to heal? Let your realization to settle without finding an intellectual solution. Can you stop trying to explain the moment, what it should be, what it is? Are we all moving in the same direction of the class? Why didn't I get my realizations before? Because you ran away. Because your ego was frightened. Because you resisted. So now you witness it. So now is the thought is interference for you, even if it comes into your screen, but your screen is free from everything when it's switched off. Because this is much more important than trying to get rid of a thought. Now your whole dharana is in the space of observation. So the mind, it is not a great place. Because your whole dharana is observation. Then you move into the space, not the mind, not your story, into the dhyana. Now my mind is working for you. You're not working for it. Because now it doesn't know. All the energies are there without being interfered with. Thoughts does not. It just comes and go. Palms facing down, rolling and bringing the chest into the front. Take a gentle breath and breathing into up face. Stretch the body, shoulders, breathe out towards the down face. Spread those fingers, release any tension. Let the energy be without interfering. Let the energy be remains. Left foot into the front. Forehead onto the knee and straighten the knee very gently, releasing any further tension, which are clinging, which are holding. I'm this, I'm that, this is my injury, this is my greater knee, this is my problem knee, nothing. It's just a space. It only exists because a story exists. Arms stretch into the back, arms raise onto the crown, bend the front knee into the warrior pose, very gently. Take a mudra that represents no attachment, no suffering, no ego, not where you come from, where your stories were strong and you're telling the story. What is your motive? Wanting to be free? Wanting to have that motivation and a direction again to go back into the spiritual mind? Be careful of these spaces. You see the glimpse of it, yeah? We gently smile with the innocence of unknown authenticity into the space. Gentle arch. Back into the center. Elbow onto the knee. Right stretching up. Open that space. Don't try to give any meaning to your realization. Keep it meaningless. You're educated to give meaning to everything. You're educated to give meaning to life, meaning to health, meaning to relationship. No. You could see how much people have been prisoned by this. Right, reaching into the back, touch the floor. Left arm reaching into the front, up to the ceiling. Into the back, touch the floor. Holding onto the front knee, releasing the tension. Arm touch onto the side. Garudasana. Right arm on the top. Now you can understand whatever the negative is negative effect, positive is positive effect. That's all. Take a deep breath in, stroke the third eye into the crown, very gently. Spread the wings wider and touch the floor. Behind all those thoughts, now you will understand because you're investigating on the space of the being in all beings. Not on a manifested level, but of a deep level. Blank. Strong on the pelvic floor. Drop the knees, stretch the spine, palms facing up. Become awareness of all the knowledge and the soul of all the consciousness. The omnipresent, the omniscient, everything. Palms facing down, rolling and bringing the chest onto the front. Take a deep breath in into up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Right foot into the front. Take a deep breath in, look up, forehead onto the knee, breathe out, straighten the knee, releasing any further tension. Take a deep breath, arms stretch into the back, arms raise onto the crown, sitting deeper. Take a deep breath in and coming onto the Virabhadrasana. So even that without a separation, this direction is given. Whom are you learning from? So neither there is a teacher nor a student. You are that. But you are that only when not from a disturbed place. There's a lot of people are teachers and disciples from disturbed places. So far you got it. Gentle arch. Breathing in into the center. Elbow onto the knee. Left arm reaching up. Now, if your fight is a real fight, stretching into the front, touch the floor. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Into the back, touch the floor. Drop the front knee, hold on to the front knee. Arm stretch onto the side. Garudasana, left on the top. Observe. As thoughts, all the beliefs coming, as thoughts, all the dogmas coming. And this realization is the Guru. The key. When they surrender, it is in the space of the spirit. So basically, you're learning about yourself all the time, isn't it? Take a deep breath in, breath out, stroke the third eye to the crown. Awaken that space, touch the floor, not to a body again. Spread the wings wide at that. Into a plank. Drop the knees, stretch the spine. Fist on the third eye. Now, as you see the beauty of this conversation, beauty of this without the motivation, without the movement. You're very near to. There is amazing vitality, a strength. There's a beauty beyond the beauty. Now, in this realization, there's no descriptions. Try not to take a verbal explanation. childhood. So in that realization, try not to navigate the mind to, why am I here? Am I a student? Is he the teacher? Nothing. We are here to learn from each other. We are here to navigate each other. At this very moment, you can release the tension of heavily conditioned things with your education, with this. When you come into this realization, your consciousness, that we constantly share through food, through love, through relationship. If you see that, then you become that very moment the teacher. Pick up the spine one vertebra at a time, very gently. So now we go back to the suffering. So the suffering is created by the story of you. When you're totally stop telling the story constantly about your struggle or about your achievement, there is a consciousness is totally different quality. No one to save, no road to travel, no technique, no teacher, no student, nothing to heal from, nothing to achieve. There's no motivation. There is no motive. Are we together in this? When you get this understanding, gently wake up the spine one vertebra at a time. As innocent as possible. Shoulders relax and chest open. Because this moment is totally independent of all the story. All mind is now losing its job, isn't it? Come to a sitting posture. Don't worry, you don't lost anything. You just need to give a moment, it will come back if you're still in the story. Now shake your arms and release any further tension, all conditioning. Because mind and body are not two different things. You might think thought is a thought and there is nothing bad about it, but thought does hold the body. There is a ground of hostility in there. So we need the polarity to release ourselves, but what only we can do that when we come into that consciousness. without the storytelling. Of course, teachers use the stories to navigate you into that space. Shrug the shoulders up, breathing in, breath out, drop. A few times, shrug the shoulders up. Release that tension that you're holding on the back. A few times, shrugging, breath out, release. Shrugging, breath out, release. Arms very gently coming into the Namaskar position. Don't allow your thoughts to kidnap, hijack, whatever you want to call it. Take your energy back. You could see the addictions, thoughts, the stories collapse. That moment of realization, it is not in the future. It is in a moment. Now there is a different taste to you, different seeing to you, seeing of unity. Arms raised onto the ground, cleanse the space. Through this level of realization, the cleansing is much more because the energy is coming into that. Just create that energy on the crown. Third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, navel, and movement. Arms raised back onto the crown, arms onto the Namaskar position on that space of realization. Namaste. Namaste. Now, are we all together in this understanding? Remember, we are working together. There is no guru, there is no teacher, there is no disciple, there is no student. Of course, the space of the realization is very humble. So you got it this far, correct? Getting it. You just need a reminder every now and then, because sometimes a week when we go without that space of understanding and realization, what happened, we get pulled into certain things and we just, again, are like having a good shower and getting rid of all those. And you tend to again embrace the life of the truth. It's very important because at this stage, everyone is pulling you into a polarity. Okay? If you have this, let's do this, have this. But no one gives you the master keys that opens up all the locks. They only give this or that. And then you still can have that space of my story. When your story is no longer serving you, that's where you are going to get elevated. But everybody wants to know about stories and achievements and failures. These are just polarities. If you waste energy on this, your life will be on the physical plan, but it's never wasted. When you cannot enjoy because every place you go, you will have a attachment or opposition. Everything that you see, you will go into that verbal conversation. Oh, this is this is that, this is this is that. So you took a break, a big break from you, big break from the story. Story is there, like you have read another novel. How many stories you had before coming into this moment, in this life, in other lives? Uh, Imagine if the mind is capable of holding all those stories, you are then totally in a terrible place. Saying that today, have some amazing level of water. Uh, just detox a little bit where you can. As you're detoxing the mind, it is great to detox the body also and elevate yourself and go into that nature where no description, no one has ever given you explanation, and just go, wow. And immediately when the mind wants to tell the story, want to take a photograph of it, just become the witness to it. My love to you. Love you very much, Matt. Big hugs to you, Liz. Big hugs to Maria. Big hugs to Daz and the family, Rebecca and Matt. Love to see you all, and great pleasure of serving this purpose with you guys throughout these years. Love you. Bye for now.